Oh, welcome in to the latest episode of that SEC podcast. I'm your host, Michael Bratton. I go by SEC Mike on Twitter, and I'm joined as always by my cousin Shane, who goes by Big Orange Vols on Twitter. What are you up to, you big Tennessee homer?
Hey, buddy. How the hell are you?
Oh, man, I'm not doing too well either. And you could probably tell by this ridiculous wig I got on my head. This is what I wore to the game. I got my popcorn here for Lane Kiffin. And, man, alive, did we have us a night there on Rocky Top. How about it, brother?
Oh, Mike, you know, I'm trying to be positive. You guys know me. Positive Shane. Never got a bad thing to say, but I can't shake this one off, man. I'm watching the video the next morning. I don't know why I'm watching. You know, my daughters, we went to the game, as you know, was there with Mike, got my family up there, had a nice celebration. My brother flew in. This was a big event for us, man. And golly, Mike, I have never seen a game this damn crazy in my life from start to finish. It's almost like I told you, man. You wore them wigs. You wore that pod. I said you need to burn that shit after this pod. I don't ever want to see it again because it's got some bad mojo on it, Mike. And I'm gonna be real with you. I'm being real with the fans. I don't like to lie. I like to be honest. I didn't get to watch all the games. That's something I like to do. I record all of them. I like to make sure I got a, start to finish feel on how all these teams. I didn't get to all of them, so bear with me. Later in the week, I'll have a little better thought. But I'm telling you, Mike, I didn't want to get on social media. I didn't want to hear the world tell me I should apologize about throwing shit, even though I didn't. I didn't want to hear none of that. Every time I get on, I got mad. I haven't got to vent since the football game, and that's what this is. We didn't do an emergency pod. I know Coach O got fired. I know there's a whole bunch of stuff going on in the world, but in the world of Shane, man, I am hot. I am still pissed off about this game. Sorry.
Yeah, we got to start right there, brother, so we'll just do it that way. Ole Miss 31, Tennessee 26. And I can be a witness. Cousin Jonathan can also be a witness. Shane, despite any rumors you may have heard, did not throw a single thing onto the field. None of us did, even though I was pretty hammered drunk. But I wasn't that drunk to be throwing stuff. But, man, what a wild game we had there on Rocky Top. And there's so many things to cover, Shane. The officiating was poor. I don't like to blame losses on the officials, even though they were god-awful. My main takeaway, and I hate to even have to start with this, Shane, because it was a terrific game, but my God, we got to do something about these fake injuries. And it's not all on Ole Miss, even though they had about 6, 7, 8 of them, and Tennessee got in on it too. They had 2 or 3 clear. And again, I'm not saying that was the difference in the game, but what in the hell's the point of running these offenses if defensive players are falling down left and right? And again, I'm not sitting here saying that every single injury in that game was fake. I mean, obviously Hendon Hooker got hurt and he wasn't able to finish, and that may have affected the outcome of the game, but there were clearly defenders for both teams that would go down, and then a play later they're back on the field, and they were down for about 7 minutes. You know what I mean? Like it's ridiculous. There's got to be something done about this, and this is 2 Ole Miss opponents in a row that are calling out these fake injuries. I mean, this is ridiculous.
A lot of injuries tonight. What do you make of that? And do you think those were all legitimate?
That was a 2-part question. So we were heavily injured coming into the game, especially offensively. I mean, I really do not remember something like this except for sanctions at USC. The lack of depth on offense at skilled positions that we had today. And you saw guys playing a lot of snaps and wearing down and not even necessarily household names that you're used to. So, and it was a high play count game, and there were a lot of injuries both sides. So, I mean, the fans boo when it's us, but they had a lot of injuries too. So, just a really high play count game.
Josh, this was a 4-hour, 33-minute game, and a lot of it was injury timeouts. Have you ever seen that many number of bodies on the ground. Is there anything that can be done about some of those situations?
Yeah, and the rules committee looks at that during every off season. So I don't know. I'm the wrong guy to ask about how we change that.
Exactly, and it's the same. It's not new players either. It's typically the same players going down. What's number 44? I can't think of the guy's name.
Campbell.
But his damn wrist must be. I mean, I don't know how he got. I don't know how his hand stayed attached to his body because many times that thing got broke off during this game. So yeah, I'm telling you, there's a whole bunch of things to unravel from this game. If you didn't get to watch it, you should have, because it was electric. It was from start to finish. It was just a great football game. But then through this whole thing, you had these fake injuries. I mean, could you imagine, Mike, being at work and just all of a sudden faking an injury, just laying down on the ground? I'd look like a fucking idiot. You know what I'm saying? That's what these kids look like, and they're being taught this. It doesn't carry over to the NFL for a reason. Mm-hmm. This is I saw somebody quote, "This is turning into soccer." That's exactly what college football is starting to look like. We've got to do something. I know we're not going to be able to change it mid-season. I would rather you change the offense if you can't fix the injuries. If not, let these kids sit out for a couple of series. I saw a whole slew of possibilities. But what the problem is, you're really going to hurt somebody later that does have an injury. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole point of this. And it was super frustrating. You watch the game. The fans are there. We're experiencing this. Well, you got to feel it. When it goes to commercial break, you got to, they do everything they can to keep these Vol fans pumped up. And you got these fake injuries, especially in the third quarter. There was one drive in particular. It was multiple, and it ended a Tennessee drive. It just, we couldn't get back into rhythm. So I don't know if you want to call that good coaching, but it worked for Ole Miss. And it gets frustrating as a fan that's just wanting to sit there and be entertained, and you're not. You're getting pissed off, and the blood was boiling in a lot of fans. Yeah, there was some idiots that threw some stuff on the field, and I'm not going to make you apologize. We got a Tennessee fan base that has been shit on for 20 years. We're a frustrated fan base, and then here we are in a competitive match with the top 15 team and going toe-to-toe with them, and we can't actually compete because the refs keep getting involved and the stupid fake injuries keep getting involved. It was just I get it. I understand why people launch. I wasn't super drunk. I had my kids with me, so I wanted to be as sober as possible during this thing. But there was a time I could get it. I could get how a fan can get that upset they want to throw shit on the field, because I was that frustrated myself.
Yeah, I can attest. I was the only drunken idiot among our group, brother. I was at halftime double fisting those tall boys coming back. Oh man, it was a great time for me. And I just enjoyed, the competitive nature of the football game. Hell, we've been talking here nearly 8 minutes, Shane. We haven't even mentioned much of the action on the field. How about Matt Corral? If you would have told me going into this one, 200 yards rushing, my God, I would have wondered how many overtimes this thing went into. That was, essentially the story of the game for the Ole Miss offense. Just time and time again, Matt Corral, they leaned on him and his legs to move the chains, and it worked time and time again. That was the biggest issue for Tennessee all night long.
Let me say that, there's a lot of people talking still about Matt being a Heisman. When I think about a Heisman candidate, I think about somebody that just puts the team on their back and doesn't. There was so many drops. Ole Miss really could have ran away with this thing if they didn't have receivers dropping the ball. There was a couple of just boneheaded touchdowns that they could have had, but Matt put this damn team on his back, and like you said, he ran for 200 yards, and it wasn't like we weren't trying to prevent it, but it was almost comical. 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6. Well, everybody in that entire stadium knew exactly how that first down was going to be gained. So you just couldn't do it. There just wasn't. I will tell you, I was a little frustrated in that side. In fact, you thought there'd be a little bit more quarterback spy, a little bit more cornerback blitzes, something like that. And I think we played it well toward the end of the game, but it was just too much. Kudos to Matt. How's he health wise? I know he got banged up there at the end.
Yeah, I think he's going to be all right based on everything I'm hearing and his comments in the post game pressers, but they were more worried about golf balls and beer cans and all that hitting them. But Yes,
Damn.
so he'll be just all right with that. But, and then kicking over to Tennessee side, Shane, I mean, I think the one thing that's being overlooked from all these angry Tennessee fans is the fact that Tennessee's offense really got slowed down in the first half. I mean, until that final drive there, they got the field goal right before half. That was basically most of the momentum they had in the first half. I know they had the touchdown pass, but the second half I thought dominated by Tennessee, and the only thing keeping Ole Miss defense alive was all these fake damn injuries. But what a gutty performance by Hendon Hooker. He brought the team back himself, kind of doing whatever he had to do. And there at the end, I know there was the 20-minute delay and all that, but really felt like Tennessee had an opportunity to win the game. That was probably the most perplexing thing to me with all the damn tossing of shit. I mean, you got 3 timeouts on the board. All you got to do is stop Ole Miss, and you can win this game. It almost came down to it, but of course, Hendon Hooker got injured. Joe Milton just, my God, the guy that overthrows everything just barely overthrew what would have been a game-winning touchdown pass.
Yeah.
And then runs out of bounds, Shane. Oh, my God.
Mike.
I think I hate to do this to anybody, Shane, and I hate to even bring this guy's name up because I know you're already in a bad mood. I'm not trying to make you any more in a bad mood. But, I mean, Joe Milton is reached into Jarrett Garantano territory with that one.
Did you see the tweet I sent out there? I was convinced. Last night, I couldn't go to bed. I'd peek at Twitter, I'd get mad, I'd turn my phone off, and then I'd act like I'm going to sleep, and I'd sit there, God bless America, I got to get on there, and then I'd get back on, and I'm just like, you know what? I think in that last play, that last situation, it blows my mind that Joe the Arm Milton, I mean, from day one, I mean, if he's throwing everywhere. He's throwing footballs, he's throwing baseballs. This guy loves to throw things. And he runs on the last play, 3 seconds left. It's just like, I don't care if you throw it to 10 Ole Miss defenders. Just give them a shot. You ain't got legs like that.
Right.
It's just, I don't understand. Because this game, the thing that drove me nuts about the Tennessee game, it was like 3 different things. The first part of the game, it was we couldn't stop Matt Corral and the refs. That was like the thing. So, and the fake injuries. So that you bottle all that up. Then you got the stuff being thrown in the field. So then that's frustrating. Because again, I got my kid there. I didn't get hit with a can or anything like that, but there was beer thrown on me. I mean, people down toward the bottom. I mean, these guys are launching water bottles, full water bottles from the top deck. I mean, I felt bad because you were hitting a lot of our fans.
Right.
I don't want you to hit anybody, but I mean, there was old people, there was kids there. It was just, so then there was that. And then the tail end, it comes down to an actual ball game, and you couldn't believe it. We had that fantastic kick return. We get to the 50-yard line. We move the ball, and then our quarterback gets hurt. Oh, my God. Hooker getting hurt. I was like, oh, no, we suck again, And then here comes Milton. We even chant for this guy. Well, at least he's going to throw the ball because that's what he loves to do. He gets out there. He barely misses the guy. I didn't realize how close it was. It's kind of hard to tell with that Jumbotron, but as I was watching the replay, I was like, damn. I mean, we're talking inches. Almost scored a touchdown, won the game. Mm-hmm. And then the last play, 3 seconds, you got to throw the ball. And he, not only does he run, he runs out of bounds. It's like the worst. Oh, man. I was walking back to the truck, and I couldn't believe it. I'm walking there by the river. I thought about jumping in a few times, and then I said, no. I said, we're going to bounce back. We got this, Mike. And then I'm sitting there, and I'm talking to a couple of guys, and I was like, I can't believe he didn't just throw the damn ball. So, anyway, I mean, I could talk this game all day. I got a lot of people reaching out to me. Mm-hmm. Mike, a lot of other SEC players, fans, and I appreciate the support. Got a lot of Ole Miss guys telling me, well, that call was right, man. I was like, is it? If you think about it, let's flip the page here. Let's say the calls went Tennessee's way. You'd be on that damn Twitter saying the same damn thing, that Tennessee got away with one. So I don't want to hear what I need to be thinking, because right now how I feel the refs screwed us. I feel the fake injuries screwed us. I feel like our fans screwed us by throwing all this stuff on the field, and then at the end, I think our backup quarterback screwed us. So everybody screwed us, and it's probably my fault. But anyway, I just want to get it off my chest. Thanks for letting me vent.
Yeah, and we hadn't even mentioned the, remember in the first half, Matt Corral fumble. It was a touchdown, Tennessee. They called that off the board. And one last dagger, Shane, to make this full circle. The same referee crew that called the Mississippi State-Memphis game with all the blown calls and the SEC, had to issue a statement saying they screwed Mississippi State twice. Same crew as Tennessee Ole Miss. So I don't know what in the hell why these guys are still getting the opportunity to call these games. And again, I'm not sitting here saying the refs, cost Tennessee the football game, because I think they had plenty of opportunities to win it. And hell, the quarterback ran out of bounds.
God. Oh, Mike. All right. I thank you. I'm over it, but it was almost, man. I got it recording. I've debated on putting it on Twitter. There, I'm watching. I went ahead and recorded it because I had faith that Milton was going to get the ball to the end zone. We were going to win this game, and there was like 30% of the fans left because everybody else left. And I was going to say, damn. Could you imagine walking to your truck and all of a sudden you hear fireworks and you're like, what the hell just happened in Neyland, I thought we were going to see it. It's like midnight, Everybody's went to bed. I mean, I'm even pissed off because I got the DVR thing and I even did the 30-minute extension. Guess what? I missed half the game because it was so long. But anyway, yeah, it is what it is, Mike. It was almost an epic game, and it is an epic game. If you're an Ole Miss fan, you'll always remember this. There was plenty of Ole Miss fans in the crowd. We heard plenty of them around us. We knew somebody was going to be hurt leaving that game. Just unfortunately, it was Tennessee.
Lane, what do you say to your team during that delay, and just kind of what was your reaction to everything that's happened, that 20-minute salvage?
I just wanted to play. I mean, the players got helmets. It's the coaches that are going to get hit. Like, I still have my souvenir golf ball that I got hit with. But so, I just said, put the helmets on, let's play. And really, the Tennessee people, were really down there on the field, were taking care of us. I think David Elliott, was over there. We're worried more about the players than anything else, even the Tennessee people. So that was really, really cool to see that part of it.
Was the golf ball the only thing you got hit by, or was it more than that?
There's some number of bottles with some brown stuff in them, so I'm not sure. Probably not moonshine. I don't think they'd waste the moonshine on me.
Yeah, Coach, you mentioned your defense.
I think that's one of the most passionate fan bases in America, and you got 100,000 of them together, and things don't go their way when all that energy's going, and they got upset. I don't know if it was. I'm not sure it wasn't partly at the refs too, because they replayed the play, and I think they're watching his other hand, thinking they had a first down. So, it is what it is.
Coach, you mentioned how Matt Corral just really put the team on his back with his rushing ability. I'm curious, maybe heading into this game, is the way Matt runs the ball. Like y'all say, hey, we're gonna need you to slide more, because you're basically like almost valuable player. And how do you coach him in that, going forward, even though he had to do tonight?
Well, we've tried that, and actually Matt did it early. He actually slid in the open field, and I think then it got competitive, and he lost Braylon early to an injury, and I think he just kind of felt like, hey, this ain't gonna be a slide game. He's gonna have to do a lot on his own, which is what he did. And I've said it before, I hope our fans appreciate this guy. I hope every home game's a sellout, because you ain't got many times left to see this guy, and he is a special player.
Josh, I don't want to put you in a situation where you're talking about officials, but did you get any kind of explanation on some of those calls? Tyler's call, obviously the play to Jacob. I know there's a couple of times where you wanted them to measure and they just moved the chains on. Were you getting any explanation about any of that stuff?
I occasionally did. Tyler's play, talked to him and said that forward progress had been stopped, not a reviewable play. The spot was looked at, I guess, and that was the decision that they came to. So on some of the chains just being moved, talked to him, didn't really get an explanation on it.
Coach, the atmosphere tonight, all afternoon, what does that make you feel about the future of this program, the potential that things are in place here for you to get where you want to be?
Yeah, I think it's been built by our players, that there's enthusiasm, excitement, and belief in the progress that our players are making on the field. Proud of them for being a part of or building that. We're just starting, this journey together, and proud of what we've done. Man, our fan base is passionate and cares. They're prideful, just like our players are. Tonight was a showcase of what Vol Nation is really all about. You come down, make a turn towards Gate 21, man, and it was as deep as you could see when you get down there during Vol Walk, man. It was phenomenal, the atmosphere that was created. And for, 4.5, 5 hours inside of that stadium, man, it was absolutely electric. Our fans showed out in a great way. It's, and I'm going to be honest, man, that's why I wanted to be here, because I believe in the power of the T. I believe in this university, believe in this athletic department, and I believe in this fan base, man. And tonight was a great showcase of that.
Josh, when you look at your football team and all the players that are out and missing, guys just keep stepping up and kind of chipping away at it. I mean, defensively, you all give up 7 in the second half. Just what's that say about this group of kids, the buy-in that, literally, you're going to the fourth stringers at times, and they're still able to muster up enough.
Yeah, we were probably the thinnest football team in America when we started. We got way more guys injured than you would want. But, man, the fight, the competitive spirit inside of our locker room, the want to play for the guy next to you because you love him and, are willing to do anything. We're growing and developing the right way, man. And, those pillars inside of our program, we keep building upon those. We're going to have a chance to have a really special program here.